A little while ago, we were invited to take over a project that somebody had already started. Now, it isn't the one over my shoulder. As you'll see in the thumbnail, this is quite an interesting one. Let me tell you the story. So this project that I'm talking about in this video, we started 2 years ago, and through a lot of reasons, we've got to a point now where we've got the car to be like a car. Now, when this car came to us, it looked exactly as you're about to see on screen. It was a blend of two cars. Essentially, what you can see is an Escort body, Ford Escort body. I believe it's like a 94 sort of area. And a Subaru Impreza floor, a floor pan, if you like, which is one of those. Which meant the idea was that what the owners wanted to do was blend the Ford Escort's looks with its sort of WRC rally Cosworth style cosmetics in with the engine, gearbox and drivetrain of a Subaru Impreza, which is the interesting part. So when we got it, the floor was already part of the Escort and it arrived on the spit. So what we had to do is cut out all the Subaru's rusty metalwork, if you know Subarus, and make it all solid, right, and as it should be, and then continue to build the entire car. Now, as anybody that's had much to do with body kits and stuff like that will know, they don't always fit very well. Frankly, the one on the R34, the Z-Tune kit, did actually fit really well. The Escort, on the other hand, was a different story. Not one part of it fit the car, not the front bumper, not the rear bumper, the skirts, the arches, nothing worked at all. We'll elaborate a little bit more about it in a second, but none of it fitted. The entire thing had to be reworked, including the spoiler. The leg wasn't even straight in the middle of the spoiler. So James has been working his backside off, let's call it to be polite, because there's been that many issues with the car, how it's been provisionally built and how the kit came. Now, I don't believe I've already featured this, and I may be wrong because I may have already featured it. The kit that came with it, that came for it, should I say, is sort of a wide body WRC type kit, as you can see. This, to get to that point, as rough as it looks, has taken a lot of time, and I mean a lot of time. For example, the spoiler's in like essentially three pieces, so the top bit doesn't line up with the boot lid, or didn't line up with the boot lid. The bottom didn't line up with the boot lid, and when I say it didn't line up, it was nowhere near, dramatically out. The leg in the middle, as we stand sort of there on camera, well, I think there, is as good as you can see, or I can see, straight. It still needs a lot of sanding, but James has had to take that leg apart just to make it that far, because when I say to you, if it was, you know, straight down the line like that, it was almost an S shape before. It was nothing near right, so this kit has taken a lot of work. If we move on to the front wings are, or have been, a disaster, to be honest. There's been a couple of different options from what our understanding is for this car, and I think there's been a mix-up somewhere along the line. Now, a lot of this is made on request. This wing is not just one complete wing that you buy. This is the continuation of two wings, so there's a join which you can still see just there, because obviously there's no paint on this yet, it's not finished yet. That piece there is from another piece that you can buy for this car. The rest of it is a wing, but as the wing came across, it was severely tucked in, so that this bumper was nowhere near. It would have sat about 3 inches further in. So once again, James has been going through that and solving those issues just to get us this far. Now, putting the engine in it, again, I believe it was on camera, but if I've missed the clip, I apologise. Engine head's going through the bottom, which you never do with a Subaru, which, as we know, is what this has got. That was something we found out the hard way, and then taking the measurements for fitting the alternator, which I can't show you because our snack department's in the way at the moment. Making all that work was another entire thing, but it's been a disaster, but we are getting through it.
We've had to, I don't know if it's been on camera before, but we've had to take the tail lights, because I think the back end was from a Mark 6.
I think it was, yeah.
The tail lights from Mark 5, so I've had to weld. Obviously you can't see it here, but somewhere here I've had to weld in, cut the old ones out, weld this in, try and get this as flush as I can. It's time consuming, and to try and get it near perfect, it's a task in itself, but we are getting there. It's just, this is one of the things people don't see. They'll see a finished product, but getting it to where it needs to be, there's a lot of time and effort going into it.
So, Escort update. Now, this is where we're at for what we're going to call stage 1 before we prime it. So, this is going to be shot in the first coat of primer now, just so it can find all the imperfections, deal with it. It's already primed up inside, as I say, just first stage. And then the rest of it, once it's at its first stage, we'll deal with it all, bring it back out, set it all up, and then once we're happy, we'll go for the final prime and the final shoot. Should be quite good, I think, when it's all one colour. So, Escort's now in the booth, so we need to give it a little wipe down, and then we're going to hit, as I said, the outside of the body with first coat of primer. Just one sort of quick coat, just to see how it works out, how it looks, and then James can work his way back around it. We can find all the little bits and pieces that needs to be dealt with, and then give it its final prime, because next step after that, we're going to progress the interior so we can get this interior painted, put all the loom in it, and get the engine and stuff running and make it sort of like a car. But before that, as I say, step one. I guess the beautiful part about this is, for a body kit that does not fit this car, it now fits this car within reason.
Are you talking to me or are you videoing?
I'm videoing. I'm just talking to these people.
I thought you finished. I thought you were talking to me then.
No, I was just talking to these people. But yeah, it does actually work with the car now, which is always nice.
Now it's had a load of
Manipulation, reworking, redesigning,
resculpting,
resculpting, yeah.
reshaping.
Goes past bodywork and you just start being an artist at this point, don't you? I love the wing. I love the wing.
Wing that fit for shit.
Yeah, which now fits. I like that. Okay, right, prime time. So, there we go. First coat of primer, and actually seeing the car in one colour, even though if it is primer, as I say. There's a few bits and pieces that we knew about, that we're looking for. And as I said before, the intention of this primer is purely so that we can see everything we need to deal with, everything that needs to go before it goes for a proper prime and final sort of finish, like things and pieces that you can't see when it's all multiple colours covered in dust and everything else. So we did take it outside and blow it off before we did this, as you saw, but it's only half the story. When you actually get to that point, you can see a hell of a lot more. So that's that for the time being. Tomorrow, carry on. James is going to go around it and try and doctor up all the little bits and pieces that need doing. But other than that, it's really good to see it all one colour and everything sorted together. Can't wait to see the cars like this, but by the time you see this video, that will all probably be done. Alright, so next major step for the Escort, it's in the booth because it's ready to be painted. Now, it's already in white primer, so you're not going to see a massive transformation if I was trying to show you as we went along, but I'm not going to. So, bumper, accessories, and car, and that's all ready to go. I'm going to wipe it all down, get some paint on it, and it'll look white on camera like it does look white now, but it'll be glossier. It's going to be a hard one though, because I've got to do the inside for the first time, even though it's primed, at the same time as I do the outside, if that makes sense. Let's see how this goes. Okay, so you can sort of tell on camera a little bit, especially on certain panels with the shine on. All done, painted, freshly done, still wet as we speak, so I'm not going to spend too long in here. But looks amazing to see it all in, well, I was going to say colour, but it's not quite colour, is it? White. Looks good to see it all finished. Nice. And then we've got the front end off. We've got to sort out cooling system, a few bits and pieces up front, and then run all the loom through there too. Well, I'd say it's a pretty cool car anyway, but James is making it even cooler. Nothing, really?
What?
I've just said I think it's a pretty cool car, but James is making it even cooler. Into cooler? Come on, I liked it.
Yes.
All right, let me show you where we're at on the Escort. So we bought the kit for the GC8 basically, which is what the engine and most of the framework is based on. But obviously this bit's Escort, so where this all sits really far forward on a GC8 Impreza, it doesn't. You've got a ton of space there, and realistically the radiator's probably about there. So what we're having to do is modify the intercooler kit just to make it fit around where the Escort parts go. And James has got the intercooler on there as I showed you before. So all we've got to do now is sort of make it all marry up in the middle where it goes through the body and go to the turbo and the inlet, of course. But that shouldn't be too bad. We're just waiting on a few silicone bits and pieces. We've got the majority of the loom ran. That's tucked away up there. It's not permanently fitted yet. A fuse box is going to live in that vicinity. Again, a couple more tweaks just to get it to sit nicely. Other than that, it's actually starting to take shape as a car, dare I say. So I don't have the clips of the engine going in, unfortunately they've been lost. It was a challenging thing to do because normally in a Subaru you can get the engine in quite easily from the top. However, with this, because the body's Escort and the top brace there is Escort, it wouldn't go in from the top, not even close, and I'll show you why in just a second. So we had to put the engine and gearbox in complete from the bottom. As I said, everything under there is very, very rough cut at the moment, so there's going to be a lot of finesse to do, which is why this has still got masking tape on it to stop us damaging it. There's a few pipes and stuff not hooked up just yet, but everything is sort of in place, functional, ready to do its job, and thankfully it does all fit quite nicely. And when I said it was a snug fit, that's the gap currently. There's even a little bit more space without tape on the front of the alternator. So what we're going to do is just make this a little bit less close, shall we say, a little bit more forgiving, and tidy all the edges up, and then we'll repaint this because this has already been painted white. As you see in the early clips, it wasn't white to start with. We're in the process of putting all the front end together, which is why I'm showing you the back end first. So lights are in it, big spoilers on, starting to look a little bit more like a car. We've got a lot of finesse to do, but we're getting somewhere. Currently we are assembling, or James is installing all the wiring loom, figuring out where all that goes, routing it where it needs to go. Alright, so at the moment we've got battery mocked up, fuel lines mocked up that run down there. There's going to be a kill switch in the centre, so that cable goes to the front of the car, that one's going to go to the centre, to the kill switch, and then out from there. We need to deal with putting the passenger seat in to make sure all that fits, and then we can replace the tape with actual clips to keep the wire in place. Same with the fuel lines, and then deal with that loom over there. So passenger seat's in place, it's not bolted in or anything yet, it's just fitted. It causes, thankfully, no issues with the main power cable. It's not close enough to worry about or anything like that. And no issues with the fuel cable. Obviously there's going to be a fuse right next to the battery anyway, so if there is any power cable issues, it'll be right there to kill it. Alright, so with the Escort, moving on to exhaust now. So this piece here, that is all basically Subaru. All the way forward is all Subaru. Used to have a Subaru back box on there, which we've cut off. So this is all sort of new to line up with the new tip, which looks like that, clean, nice. So the intention is James has mocked these up now. He's gonna cut them. Sorry, he's already cut them. He's gonna tack them into place, and that will live inside the new tip. All that'll be under the car, so it'll look quite good, but it'll still have a silencer, so it's not too much. Okay, I didn't want to film it because obviously it's not on us, but the gents have just been and put the windscreen in it for us, and it has got, as I now know, wiring for the heated windscreen, so we can actually wire it up and have like a demist system on it, which would be quite cool on that. So we're currently just trying to get the car moving. We've just sorted the clutch out, sorted the fuel tank out. We've still got loads of bits to do yet, but it's in a position now where it will run. James is just putting some water in it if it stays in the car, obviously. Where it'll run, and we can try to actually move it under its own power. The clutch works because it goes into gear. Had to replace the master cylinder, but that's done now. Let's see what happens. we managed to give the car its first drive at this point, just to make sure that everything works and it was able to move under its own power. It stopped, the clutch worked and everything in between. And to make sure that all the components from the Subaru that we had no part in removing did all work. Now, one of the challenges that we've faced along this build is simply that the parts organisation has been difficult. Ordering parts has been done through its owners, and trying to liaise with them, which have been brilliant to work with, what we need, and helping them get hold of the right things efficiently. And a few issues on our end have meant that the car's taken as long as it has to get to this point. It's kind of interesting to think that underneath that is basically that, which is interesting when you're ordering parts. You have to know which bit's from which bit. So this is how the car sits at the moment. Since the last clips of it being driven, as I said, it's now got the wheels on, as you can see. These are the wheels that are going on it, I believe temporarily, I'm not quite sure. There's a few things that we still need to go around and do to it, and a lot of stuff that we need to go around and deal with, especially for like MOT bits and pieces. So if you haven't heard of us before and this is your first time catching a glimpse of the Unloved Garage and the kind of cars that we deal with, welcome. We've got quite a few things going on at the moment, not all of which I can show yet, but like I said, after so long, we can now formally show you this one. Thank you very much for watching. Make sure you are subscribed, and as I said, welcome to the Unloved Garage.